All right, everyone, let's get real for a sec. Who hasn't had those late nights just, staring at the ceiling and wondering, like, what's it all about? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Why are we even here?
Big questions.
Well, today we're going to do a deep dive into that very mystery, the meaning of life.
Ooh, getting existential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the best part is, this whole deep dive is inspired by you, our amazing listeners. You sent in some seriously thought-provoking stuff about the meaning of life.
Some excerpts that really grapple with the whole, like, is there a point to all of this? Do we have a purpose?
Right, exactly. And, like, where do we even begin to answer that?
Well, we probably won't have all the answers today, but we're going to explore some different perspectives, hopefully spark some aha moments along the way.
Totally.
But I think what really resonates is that it highlights just how important this question is to us. It's like fundamental to the human experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And while there's no one right answer, looking at how people have tackled this search for meaning can be super helpful.
Absolutely. And I think the sources you send in really highlight that.
Yeah, there are so many different ideas. We've got personal growth, making a difference, pursuing knowledge, enjoying life to the fullest. There was even one that talked about how seeking growth can lead to health, happiness, and longevity.
Oh, I like that one. Because it's like, it's not necessarily about finding some grand cosmic purpose out there. It's about creating a life that flourishes.
Hmm, interesting. It's like meaning can be found in the process of just living well.
Yeah.
And one source really hammered home the point that we need to push ourselves outside our comfort zones. Like we have to break out of our routines to really figure out who we are.
It's like, how can you know what you're capable of if you never test your limits? I think that's where the potential for real growth comes in.
Right. But what about the idea of making a difference? Like contributing to something bigger than ourselves? How does that fit into the whole growth and potential thing?
Well, think about it. When we dedicate ourselves to something beyond ourselves, whether it's through volunteering, art, or just building strong relationships, we're often forced to learn new skills, face new challenges, and grow as individuals.
I see what you mean. It's like those acts of contribution can actually push us towards our own potential.
Exactly.
So maybe the whole point isn't to solve the puzzle of why are we here, but to really live, engage with the world, and keep striving to grow, learn, and connect with others.
Yeah, the journey itself is what gives life meaning.
I love that.
And, even if we never come up with a definitive answer, the very act of searching, of wrestling with these big questions makes life so much more interesting.
Totally agree. I always say that learning is a lifelong adventure, and it seems like the pursuit of knowledge can bring a lot of meaning to our lives. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm a total nerd for learning new things. And for me, it's not just about filling my head with facts, but like expanding my worldview,
Mhm.
challenging my own assumptions and being open to different perspectives. That's where the real aha moments happen.
I hear you. What about other perspectives? Does science have anything to say about all this?
Science definitely offers some pretty mind-blowing insights. Like take the Big Bang, for example.
Okay, the Big Bang. Remind me again.
So the Big Bang theory suggests that the universe began as this tiny, incredibly dense point, and then bam! It explodes, and everything we see around us today, the stars, the planets, you, me, we all came from that single event.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. So we're all like cosmically connected to this giant explosion billions of years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about, and it really highlights how interconnected everything is.
It does. It's like we're all made of stardust or something.
Exactly. And then there's evolutionary biology, which gives us another angle on the question.
Oh yeah, evolution, survival of the fittest, all that.
Yeah. And from an evolutionary perspective, we're here because our ancestors were really, really good at surviving and reproducing.
So basically, we're all just lucky winners in the cosmic lottery.
Huh. In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
But it also points to this deep-seated drive to pass on our genes, to contribute to the continuation of life.
That makes sense. It's like this primal urge that's pushing us to make our mark on the world.
Yeah. And that drive can manifest in all sorts of ways, not just through having children, but through creating art, building communities, leaving a legacy of some kind.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about like biological offspring. It's about leaving something behind, something that outlasts us.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got existentialism, we've got science. What about spirituality and religion? Do they have any answers to this "why are we here" question?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so many different belief systems offer answers about our purpose. Often those answers are tied to a divine plan or a higher power.
Right, like there's a reason we're here, and it's part of something bigger than ourselves.
Exactly. And those beliefs can provide a lot of comfort and guidance, sense of belonging.
Yeah, I get that. It's like having a framework for understanding your place in the world, in the grand scheme of things.
Right. And it's important to remember that even within different religions or spiritual traditions, there's a huge diversity of thought and interpretation. And I think what's so fascinating is that none of these perspectives are necessarily wrong. They all offer pieces of the puzzle, different lenses through which to view this question.
So after this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
do we have any, concrete answers? Are we any closer to understanding why we're here?
I think what resonates most is that meaning isn't some finish line we cross. It's a process, a constant evolution. It's about engaging with life, the good and the bad, and always seeking deeper understanding. And maybe the real journey isn't about finding, a single answer to why we're here,
Right.
but it's more about exploring all these different sides of, the human experience, and then creating meaning from that, a meaning that fits us.
So maybe the why, like the excerpt kind of suggests, maybe it's not as important as the how.
I think so.
Yeah. So listeners, as you go on your own journey, exploring and figuring things out, just remember there's no one right answer to the meaning of life. The beauty is in the searching itself. Keep thinking about it, keep living with purpose, and hey, who knows, you might stumble across some amazing insights along the way.
You never know.
Exactly. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.